and welcome back to our podcast, Skin Health 101, your one-stop source for all things skin health. A series of episodes where we cover everything concerning the biggest organ of your body, your skin. I'm your host Chetna, and today we are going to be talking about a very important and somewhat debatable topic, sunscreens. We are very fortunate to have an esteemed dermatologist, Christina Beu, guiding us and decoding the subject for us. Welcome, Christina.
Hi, Chetna. Thank you for having me over. Let me start with introducing myself. My name is Christina Beu. I'm an assistant professor of dermatology based in Bucharest, Romania, and my main research field is melanoma and skin cancers in general. I joined SkinVision in 2017, so I've been part of the SkinVision team for almost 5 years now.
So, Christina, can we begin by telling our listeners why wearing sunscreen is so important?
Yes, of course. We need to wear sunscreen to protect ourselves from the sun's UV rays, which unfortunately are harmful for our skin. I know this comes as a huge disappointment since sunlight is so enjoyable for all of us. But what we need to understand is that sunlight consists of two types of harmful rays that reach the earth. These are the UVA and the UVB rays. And overexposure to either of these rays can lead to skin cancer. So basically, by wearing sunscreen, we can enjoy the sun safely without increasing our risk of getting skin cancer.
Okay, but does that mean that we only need sunscreen on a sunny day?
No, definitely not. Wearing sunscreen should be an everyday habit all year round. UV rays can penetrate through clouds, rain, or fog, and this is why you should wear sunscreen no matter the season or the forecast. And for example, now in wintertime, we have to be aware that snow has this ability of reflecting and intensifying the sun's rays, therefore increasing our chance of sunburn. And many people are surprised to learn that the need for sunscreen actually increases on snowy days.
And what if you are indoors all day?
This is a frequently asked question, and in an ideal setting, the answer would be yes. But then we have the real world data that is showing us that most people think this is too much. So we have to be realistic, we have to be reasonable. And I usually advise everyone to wear sunscreen indoors, at least when they are working or relaxing near a window. This is because UVA rays can pass through window glass, so they are quite good at finding you even indoors. And another thing that is very important is that when indoors, we tend to spend hours a day sitting in front of digital screens, such as our computer, tablets, smartphones, TV screens, and so on. And all these devices emit high-energy blue light. This is another part of what we dermatologists call the light spectrum. And this blue light can significantly contribute to the early aging of your skin. So this is another reason why you should wear sunscreen even indoors.
That's interesting. So now that we have established why we need to wear sunscreen and when, another question that is most frequently asked is which sunscreen to use. What would you recommend, Christina?
Okay, so let me start by covering the basics. There are two main types of sunscreens, chemical sunscreens and physical sunscreens. Chemical sunscreens are also called organic sunscreens. They are the ones that get absorbed into your skin and work as a sponge, meaning they absorb the sun's UV rays before they can damage your skin, they convert the rays into heat, and then the heat is released from your skin. The advantage of using chemical sunscreens is that they tend to be easier to rub into the skin, they do not leave a white residue behind, and therefore they are more cosmetically appealing. But the biggest downside to them is that since they get absorbed into your skin, they can cause irritation in people with sensitive skin. On the other hand, we have the physical sunscreens, which are also called inorganic or mineral sunscreens because they use mineral compounds such as zinc oxide and titanium dioxide that have almost no absorption into your skin. They just sit on the surface of the skin and are believed to work like a shield that practically blocks and scatters UV rays. They are also less irritating and suitable for people with sensitive skin. But the disadvantage of physical sunscreens is that they leave an unsightly white appearance, and some individuals may find that disturbing.
Well, the question remains, isn't it? Which one to really choose?
Yes, it does. And I always say this. Choose a sunscreen according to your skin needs and your personal preference. The best sunscreen is the one you feel comfortable with, so you will actually use it on a daily basis. This is the most important thing. And no matter if you prefer a chemical or a physical sunscreen, just make sure that you choose a sunscreen that has an SPF of 30 or higher, offers you a broad spectrum protection, meaning it protects you against both UVA and UVB rays, and is water resistant. Water resistant means it is effective for up to 40 minutes on wet skin, like when you are sweating or swimming. And as long as your sunscreen offers all this, it can effectively protect you.
I'm sure that our listeners will find this very useful. So let's dwell a little bit into the application part. How to and how much to apply.
First of all, sunscreen should be applied to all skin that is not covered by clothing, including those easy-to-miss spots like the tops of your ears, the back of your neck, the tops of your feet, so all exposed skin. Then, be sure to apply it generously. Most people don't use sunscreens the right way. They do not apply enough to achieve the SPF listed on the label. And studies clearly show they are actually applying only 20 to 50% of the recommended amount of sunscreen. So I will share some practical tips. For the face, you should use an amount that is the equivalent of a teaspoon. And for the other exposed parts of the body, most adults need about 1 ounce of sunscreen. This is enough to fill a shot glass. And last but not least, I usually advise my patients to reapply sunscreen every 2 hours. However, it's very difficult in daily life to reapply every 2 hours. So if they apply it several times a day, at least in the morning, at noon, and in the afternoon, around 4 p.m., let's say, it's very good. But this is in daily life, okay? So when you are on vacation, when you are lying on a beach or going hiking or doing any other similar outdoor activities, you have to reapply it every 2 hours. And very important, after swimming or sweating, you have to reapply it immediately. There is no exception from that rule.
There's also this safety concern about sunscreens, right? Can we address that? Is it safe for kids or, say, pregnant women to use sunscreens?
It is recommended to avoid the use of sunscreen products in babies younger than 6 months if possible. In fact, ideally, parents should avoid exposing babies younger than 6 months to the sun's rays. Otherwise, in children older than 6 months, it is safe to apply sunscreen, and the physical sunscreens are preferred to chemical sunscreens because they are less likely to irritate children's sensitive skin. As for pregnant women, they should use sunscreen and they should choose mineral sunscreen as well. I advise my patients who are pregnant or breastfeeding to refrain from using chemical sunscreen, particularly those that contain ingredients such as oxybenzone or octinoxate. This is because, like other substances that get absorbed into the skin, they are then released into the bloodstream and may even show up in breast milk. I want to point out that absorption does not equal toxicity, but this is just a measure of caution.
This has been so insightful. I would like to end the discussion with one last question. Is applying sunscreen enough to stay protected against the sun and skin cancer?
Not at all. Sunscreen alone isn't enough to keep you fully protected in the sun because no sunscreen can filter out 100% of the sun's rays. That's why it's important to also seek shade, especially from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. when the sun's rays are the strongest, and wear sun protective clothing such as long sleeve shirts, pants, a wide brim hat, and sunglasses with UV protection whenever possible. Also, always remember it is important to regularly check your skin for any warning signs. As a first step, the SkinVision application can assist you in performing full body self-exams. You can even create and store a body map of all your skin spots and moles so you can track them over time and make note of any changes that may occur. And I do not want to end this discussion without reminding everyone that skin cancer is one of the few cancers you can actually see. So no X-ray, no CT, no special diagnostic procedure is needed. You can simply observe it with your naked eye. Just do not ignore it. Take action when you see it, because when caught early, skin cancer is highly curable.
This is a great start for anyone that has questions about sunscreen and why it is integral to maintaining good skin health. Thank you, Christina, for this knowledgeable session, and a big thank you to everyone who tuned in. I will be back soon with another expert and yet another topic that will guide you on protecting your skin and keeping it healthy.